Welcome back to the Random Horror Show. I am your podcast horror hostess, Keisha Lacey, coming straight out of the Pine Curtain, better known as East Texas, and of course here at the Random Horror Show, where we just being silly and commentating on film. Um, you might hear a story or two. Um, in horror, science fiction, fantasy, cult classics, and the obscure, in movies, television shows, literature, and also guessed when I throw them in. But we are in a really good age of 2023. Happy New Year's, happy solstice, Cancer Moon, happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, happy full moon, new moon, Mercury retrograde, all of that right there. Thank you all for listening out there. I really do appreciate it, and thank you for the past people that have like followed me on Instagram. I changed the name to the Random Horror Show instead of just Texas Horror Babe. So if you want to follow me, that is going to be at the Random Horror Show. Oops, and of course on Facebook is the Random Horror Show. But 2023 horror films are really looking really great from last year. There are a few and in between horror films of 2022 that I really like. Um, but I think it was just kind of it wasn't really like a weird slump. I believe because of all what the bullshit that happened during the pandemic, because there was a lot of things that was pushed back and a lot of things was released in 2021. It's getting a big kickstart. We know like writers have been writing it up probably since before the pandemic. Fuck, I cannot talk today. Let me get a swig of coffee. Got my coffee and everything. I'm still not even awake. I had Zoom meetings with students because I'm a eyelash instructor. So I'm still in my pajama bottoms, but I have a nice shirt and my hair pulled back. So I have to be there at 9 o'clock on the Zoom, and then at 10:30 on the Zoom and stuff. So yeah, that's a lot right there. But I really enjoy it. But beforehand, what I'm going to get into is Megan and the list of horror movies that I want to check out, and I think that y'all should check out. How my thoughts on it, before it comes out in theaters, because I feel that Damien Leone's Terrifier, and of course last year with Michael Myers, Halloween Ends. There have been like a really big presence in horror, especially on mainstream, and in theaters. That is something that we are now seeing because of the 80s and the 90s. Good God, I can't even talk today. I've been talking since 9 o'clock this morning. And I see that uptick right there because because we all have like different genres out there, but it's really good to see like a good slasher film with a good creepy supernatural film like in the theaters. And I feel that like since like a lot of people stream a lot and they wait till it comes out on DVD, it's like time to like get back into the theaters and really get that really true theater horror experience. And I am here for it. I am living for them shits right there. Before we get into what I'm going to be discussing about horror, I have been literally sick. I was sick for 2 weeks with sinus infections. Not only that it is, I'm still uh, grieving and coping with the loss of my grandmother. That is still tough on me, but it brought me to a really dark place. I don't like that at all, and I'm being transparent with y'all because I have, I've been diagnosed, with chronic depression. um a lot of things that has happened in my childhood, adulthood, teenagers, and everything else. If you have been listening to past podcasts, there is like a story that is going to be wove into the movie that I'm reviewing. And just to have that that comparison or that contrast from real life, from the horror movie. Because a lot of times when I watched horror movies was to have that escapism from a lot of trauma that I dealt with, in, growing up. And a lot of people have like been traumatized by things. It doesn't even matter if it's not in your childhood. It could be, in adolescence or young adult. I mean, it can be like middle age. It doesn't even matter what stages you are in life. Everybody is going to experience some type of trauma in their life. But I am paired up with a lady, and we have been discussing about having our own podcast of like helping people who are dealing with mental issues or different mental behaviors. I mean, if it's not even you, if it's like a friend, a family member, to recognize signs. I'm not a licensed counselor. I should have been a licensed counselor or a psychiatrist, but, and we're going to throw that disclaimer out. This is us, like, telling our stories and what we did for ourselves to cope and to manage, and also recognize that in people. Because a lot of times, like, people will, like, misread or or judge people because of like a certain um behavior, or they seem pretty off or whatever like that. And especially with depression, with people with depression, a lot of people suffer from depression. It can be just chronic. It can be, kind of like the mood swings and different periods and stuff like that. It may not hit you, within 2 months. It may hit you in like a year or so. Particularly, we um we like to work a lot, or we like to do things, and we feel like we missing out on the rat race or whatever. We have children. Some of us don't have children. I have two myself. One of them is in high school, the other one is out the door living her life. From being single, from being divorced, separation, widowhood, things like that. A lot of people have experienced it, and some people want to be in denial about that, of their feelings or how they feeling, because it may have been somebody that actually trick fucked them of when they express and being vulnerable. And I noticed like a lot of people are not being vulnerable with them. Of course, you have to be around somebody that's trusted, and with their feelings. And that has happened to me too many times, and they took like what I was feeling and my emotions and my feelings that I trusted this person to with and everything. They have literally just made a mockery of how I felt, or making snide, mean comments or some things like that. Or they will, shit like that. Because a lot of people don't understand different, like anxiety, PTSD, things like that. And they think it's something else, or you just get over it. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't get over it. And even there's people that has committed suicide last year, and that is really deep. And and I and, and I was just very worried about around the holidays, is that even before the holidays, that people would commit suicide. And that is a huge, huge major issue that I really focused on. Even myself have felt it when in October when I did the horror spooky reads. I noticed that I was very overwhelmed. I was super tired. I didn't want to connect to nobody, and I started a new position as an instructor and training myself. And I noticed that, like, when I go to work, I am happy. I'm in my zone. And when I get there, I am happy. And then all of a sudden, something throws me off, and I go into this place of like I don't want to be bothered. And I'm an instructor, and a lot of times whenever we go to work or we are, new position, especially if something that has happened, like, since my grandmother's death. But then I'm gonna tell you this, it was a lot of other things that was piling up on me, especially with elderly caregiving. A lot of people do not understand about elderly caregiving. It is tiresome. It is thankless, and it is can be a a pain in the ass, especially when you have family members who don't want to help out or they have a problem with you. It has so much things and details of what um of like elderly caregiving, and that was going on from December 2020 to like, July of 2022. And so really right in that 2 years, I seen my grandmother fall down twice. That was traumatizing to me. But really, I was just like, this is really something important that me and my friend are talking about, and we're going to be putting that on this podcast because we want to help people out on different experiences, because we want people to listen and like really relate. Because a lot of times, we all know it, that mental issues, mental stabilities, and things like that, behaviors, even like in adults, young adults, and children, it is a stigma with that. It is a big, humongous stigma. And you see, and I'm just letting you know, and I see this and I'm observant of this. Have seen so many people that has really just wild out on online, or they take something so personal. There's people on there online that it could be like a podcast, it could be a YouTube, it could be any type of social accounts where if it's yours or you looking at somebody else's, there's somebody has this like unhealthy emotional attachment with that account or this person. And it's very unhealthy. And when I seen it myself, just being observant of like different it can be different YouTube content creators, Instagram, all of that, there will be people on there that will get so emotionally attached. That even happened to me, and it really freaked me out, because you want to be very helpful or you want to talk to people, just connect like that. And then it starts to get really odd and very obsessive, to the point that you're just like, I don't want to talk to nobody, period, online. I don't want to connect to nobody online. And a lot of times, from this person that was on Instagram, I deleted their account, blocked them, report everything else. It was getting really, really bad, and I recognize that, and I've always talked to this person. I think this person does have mental issues, because or they just trolling, or they have both. How they have these different accounts, and they will come in and kind of like sort of kind of like pretend to be somebody else, but it was actually this person. I love you, this person saying that they love me and things like that. I mean, yeah, I am lovable. Come on now. But it got to the point of where I'm just like, I'm recognizing this. I'm like, let's not give this person any ammo. and I've always been honest with this person, just because I'm just straight, flat out blunt with them. And I was like, gotta cut this off. So I did, and I'm not bothered anymore about his person that was on Instagram, but still, I think a lot of us need to watch out for that, especially when people commenting on our post. Everything else, you will know what's what it is and what it really isn't and everything. And I just want everybody to be safe, and I want everybody to be safe, not just only online, but also start watching out for some followers that are maybe a little bit too excessive with you. And that's really very, very scary, and that can cause a lot, especially with people that create content, either if it's YouTube or any type of medium. You will experience burnout. You will not feel like you're connected with your audience, and so I was feeling like that. So I'm just being transparent with y'all. But like I said, I do have chronic depression, and I do have coping mechanisms, and that's the reason why I stay so busy all the time. And and you really don't want to lose focus in yourself of not having so many irons in the fire, but you also can seek help and therapy, counseling, things like that. And that's what I'm doing. So I have no shame in my game of like telling y'all that I'm seeking therapy, because guess what? I want to be better for myself. I want to be better for y'all to give out like great, like reviews and hear crazy stories. I mean, and be my like cool ass bubbly self. And I don't want to like do something where it really is an imbalance on my well-being, and especially with my mental health. And I feel that mental health is very extremely important, because that has a lot to do with your physical and everything. Mental health is so fucking important. And it has it's tops to make sure that you are very in check with your mental health. And it's very um I wouldn't say brave, but being fucking real with yourself when you know that you're spiraling out. And also, you can help somebody. They may not listen, they may not hear, but guess what? If it doesn't reach a whole bunch of people, if it reach somebody and they tell us thank you whenever we're going to be starting this, um, that's the gratitude. And it's not doing it for the glory or whatever. This is like real deal shit, because damn, I see a lot online, and I see a lot, um, out there too. So, but anyways, you see how I switched it up. Anyways, let's go ahead and start off with 2023 horror films. And I'm going to say this: Megan has really kicked it off for 2023. And I went to go see Megan. I dragged my ass out, and then people were like, shout out to like Mark Estes, um, Tyrone Williams of the Evol Tyrone, baby. I'm sorry, I messed up your name, Tyrone, the Evil Tyrone. And also check him out with the Evil Tyrone Megan reviews that is on YouTube. Uh, very beautifully summarized. He really did the damn thing on Megan. Um, but on my take right here with Megan and everything, baby, I could have popped that little motherfucker in her mouth all the time. I could have popped Catty ass too. Popped her ass and everything too. But I understand about how Catty feels and stuff, because that is like something of what, if you seen trauma, you see tragic that has happened, you lost your parents, you do act out. You don't, for her to be like an 8-year old, she does not realize that what was presented. And a lot of us have like a different mindset, and which reminds me of my cousin. Whenever she lost her mother at 6 years old, and she came to live with my grandmother, big mom and big daddy, and that's her aunt, her great aunt and uncle. And she lost her mother, and she's seen her mother died right in front of her. And I'm not gonna say what it was, but I remember on the swing set with my cousin, and she's a Pisces too. Pisces too. Shout out to Shonda. That's my cousin though. But I remember sitting on the swing set, and I was around 4.5. She was 6. We're 2 years apart, and she told me about what happened and what she's seen and how she was traumatized seeing her mother passing away right in front of her. And when I seen that in the film, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is how, through the eyes of Katie and then the eyes of my cousin, of what they witnessed as small children. That is really deep. I feel that people that have had reviews and things like that on it have really literally missed the point, especially with childhood trauma of losing loved ones. And from when I seen that scene right there, that brought me so many memories back of like my, and I'm 44, I'm going to be 45. I was 4 years old when, and I remember on the swing set in front of the yard, and my cousin, we were just swinging and talking and getting to know each other because we never met each other. I didn't know I had a cousin that was my grandmother's great niece, and she's telling me this. And I would to process it as a 4.5-year old. That's a lot. And then for her to see that, that's a lot too. And when I went to my mom and I seen my mom and I told her, and I started crying because that shit is sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. But Megan, really, she took this place of like not only like the emotional uh support and a bit of that attachment with Katie. You see the adults really have been very neglectful, especially the neighbor, Katie's aunt Gemma. Gemma is like a really amazing, tech, genius who created Megan. And she was very reluctant to take Katie in, and because she was and she kind of shirked how she wasn't really focused on like how Katie was really feeling. She should have had more of a connection and asking her questions and things like that, making sure she's good, not just the basic things. A lot of times, like, and even with that being said, if my cousin being placed with my grandparents to live with them, and then my I had a small, briefness of being placed in a foster home myself, and a foster, with foster parents myself. I felt those parts right in here, though I did not, I totally empathize because of my cousin, what she uh, told me at 4.5 years old about her mother passing away, experiencing that right in front of her. But I did experience the part of Katie going to her aunt's house. I was like I said, short term, with a foster parents, and then of course, my dad got custody of us, and that's a really long story, but I'm not going to get into that. But you get the point in that, and I know that there could be people that can relate to the character Katie, especially with her parents, and then of course being with your aunt, being raised by your aunt, your grandma, or whatever like that. It's very interesting. And really, the most interesting thing about Megan is that it's written by Akila. People are like literally Akila. I think her Akila Brown. I think so. Uh, People are like, I probably have said her name wrong or whatever, but let me like look that up. And I know it's Akila, baby. I know it's Akila, okay? Like Akila the bee, but I want to get her last name correct. But yeah, people were like sending me to like Akila Cooper. I'm sorry, Akila Cooper, y'all. Akila Cooper. I knew as I was so close to that. Akila Cooper has written with James Wan. James Wan was like the producer of this, but Akila Cooper was the person that wrote Megan. She also wrote Hell. I think it's like Hell something. Oh my God, things. I had a lot of things going on this morning. Um, she also wrote Malignant. Malignant, you can check Malignant out on the Random Horror Show, past podcast, where me and my daughter talk about Malignant. That was super ass ignorant right there. I enjoyed Malignant. It was just really crazy, very uber creepy, especially with Gabriel and his sister. That was really messed up right there. I enjoyed Malignant. But when I found out it was Akila Cooper, and I was just like, wow, she's one of the hottest writers out there. And to per se that like people always think that we can't depend on Jordan Peele to like make horror movies or whatever like that. We have more writers than that, black writers than that, that can write horror films. It may not be your cup of tea of how like we view horror or how we write horror and stuff, but I have learned to appreciate everybody's other horror and stuff. So it may not be your cup of tea. That's cool. That's you and everything else. But me, I like to have a broad, open mind about horror, especially with different writers of, people of color. I'm a black woman and everything, and especially this is like really great to see a black woman that has written Megan and Malignant, and Megan and Malignant are really good films, but Megan really did surprise me. I was very indifferent on Megan. I was just like, this looks like some damn. Uh, uh, Somebody called it out. Small Wonder. That was a show back in the 80s. That was my favorite show to see. Vicky, the android. She was AI robot with the family, and there was some really creepy and messed up moments on Small Wonder with Vicky because Vicky was very strong. Vicky could do some damn damage. And like there was a couple of episodes that she got a little bit too scary for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, this girl can really mess you up. Even though it's an actress playing that she's a robot, but just to think that the dad created a robot little girl that was super strong. She has so much information. She can glitch, and anything can happen. And it was a lot of different stories in Small Wonder where Vicky kind of got a little bit ignorant. She kind of knucking. She kind of knucking buck. She got a little ignorant, and it was very, and it was some scary. It was some scary moments in Small Wonder when I was a child, just watching it. Also, there was a movie called My Best Friend. I think it was My Deadly Best Friend with Christy Swanson and Matthew Labrador. Uh, that was a really cool movie right there. Um, Christy Swanson, her situation. Her dad was an alcoholic. She died. Matthew Labrador was in love with her. Uh, so he had a robot fuse their bodies together, and it was real twisted. It was super twisted movie. So if you want to get that feel of, of course, like Chucky and everything else. So I feel this is like an evolution of like the AI and like toys, dolls, especially in horror. I feel that's like a really good twist on that. But do go see Megan. Let me know. You can hit me up on Instagram at the Random Horror Show, and we can talk about it. Now, since I chit chatted about Megan, And like I said, Megan is not a bad movie and everything. It's a really great kickoff for horror in 2023. Now, the movies that horror films that's coming out. We have Pale Blue Eyes. That is going to be, I believe it's on Netflix, and it has Christian Bale. I'm Batman, the Dark Knight. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Patrick from American Psycho. Well, this is a mystery thriller film, and it is adapted by from. Let me see. Y'all, give me time, give me patience, give me time, give me time. But this is an adaptation. I can't even talk, and it came out last week, and it has a very um it has a very centered around, guess who, American Gothic horror writer Edgar Allan Poe, and it's set, in the like 17th century. It has Christian Bale, Gillian Anderson. Excuse me, I am literally fucking up these names. Gillian Anderson, y'all know her. Scully, X Files. Shoot, and I love redheads too. She was like, I like redheads, I really do. They're like kryptonite to me. I'm dead ass, dead ass. But it is a crime horror mystery thriller. It's set like in a period piece, and it seems like it's one of like a really good adaptation um of the novel that is by Lewis Bayard, and it's got that mystery with him. Christian Bale's character, and he's a detective. There's a lot of murders that are going on, and like it has, it's aided by of Edgar Allan Poe, a young military cadet, and of course we all love some Edgar Allan Poe. You know what I'm saying? Them novels and everything. Shit, he was good with talking about the crows and stuff. Another one I really want to watch so badly is Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear, cocaine in the back of a ride. If you're a UGK fan, cocaine in the back of a ride. So you have Cocaine Bear, and this is actually true events of a bear getting into that good old coca, baking soda, in the somewhere in some park, somewhere in Kentucky, Tennessee, somewhere all up in there, bluegrass country, and a national park. So it's gonna be a very interesting ride right here, because we have this is actually based on, if you can look it up, 1985, of a bear getting into some damn cocaine. It was from some kind of drug deal that just didn't pan out very well, and just read up on it. I love that they took it, this story right here, and they presented to us. This year is Cocaine Bear, and I was just like, I'm ready for that Cocaine Bear. I am dead ass ready for that Cocaine Bear. We also have Evil Dead Rise. This is coming out in April. Now, I'm going to say this right here. If y'all, one of y'all single or whatever like that, I feel this is a good date movie, cuz I feel there's going to be a lot of jump scares, a lot of chicks be like, "Oh, hold my hand. I know this is too scary." I feel this is going to be a perfect date movie, because this is taking it out of that raggedy ass cabin in the woods, of where it all started, and it's coming to an LA high rise. Now the story is interesting, because it's a mom. She has kids. Her sister has coming to visit. That dang Necronomicon Klaatu Harata Nikto, when you say the words, um come like jumping out in Los Angeles at this high rise. This is going to be the most, I feel this is going to be the most watched, the most blockbusterish uh, film, because the Evil Dead franchise has been going on for 40 years. Evil Dead 2 premiered on my birthday, March 13th, and due to Evil Dead, when Sam Raimi released it, it was on so many ban lists in different countries. So he had to like go in, fake a production company for Evil Dead to come out. Very, very smart. Since horror is now mainstream and is very widely accepted, he don't have to worry about that shit no more. Raimi has done his job. Everybody knows him from Spider-Man back in the day to like Drag Me to Hell. He did Doctor Strange. I mean, even it has like Robert Tapert, who was the producer on some Evil Dead. I believe it was Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. Bruce Campbell is a producer also with the Evil Dead Rise. And if y'all like used to watch any of the shows back in the day, like Xena Warrior Princess, Z was very big in Xena Warrior Princess, of where you see Bruce Campbell guest star on it. Even Ted Raimi was on Xena Warrior Princess because he played Joxer the Mighty. I mean, if you are like a big Sam Raimi fan and have been following him for so long, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know your damn horror. You know your damn Sam Raimi shit. Moving on. We also have M. Night Shyamalan, Knock at the Cabin. Now, I've seen this in theaters, the previews. Now, I kind of like, I'm sketch on this right here because I'm not really too big, especially with films that has like a very like have cultish behavior. I mean, Midsummer was very cultish and everything when they went to Sweden, but that was like really good and it had a point. I like that. But it's from M. Night Shyamalan. I know he has, it's like a lot of times it's like a hit and miss. Of course, like his biggest hit, and always going to remain, is the Sixth Sense and everything. I feel that is a very classic thriller, horror, mystery, supernatural film that M. Night has done. That has like big reviews and it's very praised a lot, but there's like some that it was like real stupid and I just didn't care about it. But if this might be his redemption song of Knock at the Cabin, because it deals a lot with apocalypse, and I'm just not really big on people who use religion as like this apocalypse, we're gonna kill this person because this person right here is this Seventh Seal. Because if y'all remember that more movie with Demi Moore, the Seventh Seal, now that was not bad right there, but I'm just more of, I don't like a lot of stuff like that because really it just makes my anxiety high. And I really when I see shit like that, and plus being raised around East Texas, where like it's really really deeply religious, and being in the Bible Belt, it I have PTSD from it. I really do. And I don't like films like that. And there's some that is very tastefully done, like The Menu. The Menu is a very tastefully done horror film that it has that cult theme with it, and that was very tastefully done. That I liked it, and plus, Ray Fiennes is in it. Anna Taylor Joy, Nicholas Holt. That was the first time I hated Nicholas Holt. That was the first time I hated Nicholas Holt all my life. But he's gonna come back, I know, and I'm gonna be talking about it too. But Knock at the Cabin deals with all that apocalyptic, all the end of the world shit. I can't say that fucking word, but it's a psychological horror, so that's cool right there. But I'm just not really too. I just wasn't too big on that shit, so I was just like, whatever. Okay, sure. Now we have like Insidious 5. Now this is the end of the whole Insidious. Like this is coming to like an end. Now Insidious and surprised the crap out of me, especially with the real life couple that has kept different possessions of like inanimate objects that have been possessed, or does all kind of creepy ass things like that, and they collect them. They also, they were like ghostbusters. There was a husband and wife team that were ghostbusters. Annabelle has came out, like her part of came out of Insidious. But I like Insidious, oh my gosh, by the window. But with Insidious, like I truly like felt that real last like terror and nightmares with Insidious. Now this is the last one, and I hope it does not disappoint, because I truly enjoyed Insidious a lot. Now, since I spoke on Nicholas Holt's character that played in The Menu, very classic, stylish. Psychological horror, and very very dark. If you have a dark sense of humor, it has some comedy in it too. It's so hilarious. But if you really, and it's got that cult element with it. I hated his ass in that. I really wanted him to die. I was like, please die, sir. You're getting on my damn nerves. And I'm like, you dude, you suck. But please do watch the menu. I feel that is a really wonderful dark humor. I mean, it's really, really, really dark. If that's up on your lane, go check it out. Renfield. Now, I'm gonna say it like this: how I've been posting. We have Count Dracula. We have Count Chocula. We have Blackula. Dragula. Now we have Cagula. And somebody come and say, well, we have Bunica. I said, what? I said, oh, hold up. That's right, but that's right. Y'all remember that bunny on shit. I ain't watched this in a long time. Monty Python, Holy Grail. When that damn bunny was attacking. I think there is a horror movie that has a bunny that's a vampire too. But like for real, you can think of all of the like the Draculas, the Blackulas and everything. We got Cagula in this horror comedy, Renfield. Renfield was the loyal follower, servant of Count Dracul. So we're gonna hear Renfield's side of the story of how Count Dracula or Cagula, Count Cagula is. And I feel that like that is a really cool thing to like actually hear from Renfield's side, that like how he has to do all of these things. He is just the most loyal servant to Dracula, because if he don't do it, Dracula gonna tear his ass up and some more. But I love that we're gonna hear, you know, we're gonna hear Renfield's side, and it is a reboot of the Dracula series. I know I'm not really big on reboots and shit like that, but like I feel that it is going to be like a really good reboot, because it has a really great cast of Nicolas Cage, because that motherfucker just extra extra. Nicholas Holt warmed my heart and stole my heart in Warm Bodies. Aquafina, don't care too much about her. Shura, I cannot pronounce this lady's name, but it is the lady that has like that gorgeous, beautiful, deep voice. I believe she's Iranian American. Is Shura? Sure, she was also in Tenet. She was in Run Sweetheart Run. Love her voice. She has a very beautiful voice. Um this is, I mean, this looks really great. Like I said, I really don't care about Aquafina. It's just something about her I just don't care about. She's just weird. I don't give a shit what you think, but she is just weird to me. Don't care too much about her. But the other people, yes. Now we're going to have Scream 6. Now we have heard so many controversy things about Scream 6, about from Nev Campbell contract to a lot of things. There's people that are on the fence about Scream 6. This is the continuation of Billy Loomis's daughter, Jenna. What's her name? I can't remember that girl name, but she played Wednesday, and she's coming back. Um, she's okay, but they're coming back, and of course, Courtney Cox, God, David Arquette is gone. Very good, uh, very good murder scene. That was a really good kill. Like, I was just like, damn, if you're gonna go out of the franchise like that, go out like a boss. And he did. He went out like a boss, and it made me sad he got killed, but he went out like a boss. I mean, I don't blame his kill. You know, like how good it looked. Like that motherfucker look it mother that was a good ass kill. That was freaking excellent. Excellent. Who said that? Excellent. I forgot. I keep forgetting shit. But Scream 6 is the continuation. But like I said, it could make so much at the box office, and then of course you have these people that are stance on going to like support the Scream franchise, and then you have the stance on those who are not supporting it. It's just a whatever for me. I mean, a horror, it's just a movie. I love, and that's the one thing that like I'm not very like don't understand about fans, like, is that how hard they go. Like Beyonce, like the Beehive, they go hard like the Beehive, and I'm just like, I don't understand it. I really don't. But we also have the Meg 2, the Trench. um it's a science fiction action. The Meg, I didn't see the first Meg, so that makes me go and see the first Meg. A big ass shark. You know, all y'all about talking about damn Shark Week, Sharknado. And Sharknado is really funny. It's so stupid. I mean, it pulls like so many uh like horror movies like throughout the whole, like, just the whole Sharknado everything. It's silly, silly. Also, Disney is coming out with the Haunted Mansion. So the Haunted Mansion, if y'all remember when, what's his name? Eddie Murphy. Y'all probably like, damn, like she just forgot Eddie Murphy was like in the Haunted Mansion. I actually liked the Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy and stuff. That was like not bad. That was pretty good. And then of course, like it is from like the older movie, The Haunted Mansion. If you watched that back in like the 60s and stuff. So they did the Haunted Mansion, and guess who is the writers on the Haunted Mansion? And one of like a real favorite of the horror community is Guillermo del Toro, and also it stars Jamie Lee Curtis because she's like, I'm tired of Laurie Strode's ass. I'm finna join this Disney movie, The Haunted Mansion. I'm not running from no damn Michael Myers. He ain't trying to kill me for over 40 fucking years. He already killed my ass in 2021. I'm going with this. And it also has Winona Ryder, who has uh, always bedazzled us like throughout her acting career, even in Stranger Things. When Stranger Things started up, when I watched it and I seen Winona Ryder, I was like, I know this shit is good. We also have Jared Leto. Jared Leto said, hey, Um, Y'all didn't like me as a Joker. Guess what? I'm gonna be on the Haunted Mansion. He's also been in some other movies too. I'm just making jokes and everything. But like the Haunted Mansion, from Disney, you probably like, why is it like another haunted mansion and stuff? Maybe it's just a continuation of it. Shit. We all know about the Haunted Mansion. Watch their Haunted Mansion. And it's probably going to be like in his family, so I feel like it's going to be like really good, and for all the family to like enjoy. Now the Nun 2 is coming out, also that is written by she also had a hand in this, Akila Cooper. I was not I watched the Nun, not bad. Jump scares were very decent. I'm like, crap. I particularly am not a Nun fan and stuff. Just not. But I do like the jump scares with the Nun. And to me, sometimes like whenever you have like the supposedly, like, we think of Mother Teresa, or we are Catholic and we have like sisters such and such, and then of course like there's like these Catholic horror story, school horror stories of like this nun sister blah 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 or mother blah blah blah, done all this crazy ass stuff. And then you had Silent Night Deadly Night with the two boys that went into the orphanage, and the nuns were kind of little messed up towards them because they're usually out of touch. But I'm glad they have technology, and they can actually keep up with stuff. But anyways, the Nun 2 is coming out. Let's look and see who is going to be up on here. We have Tasia Forminga. Uh, if y'all don't know who Tasia Forminga is, y'all should know her mama. Y'all should know her damn mama, because her mama. Now, actually, it's not her mom. Sorry about that. Excuse me. It's actually her sister, Vera Farmiga. And like Vera Farmiga, if y'all don't know who she is, baby, she's the one that's on Insidious. Okay, don't be slow. We also have Storm Reed. Now, Storm Reed is she's up and coming. She played in so many roles and stuff. She was in 12 Years a Slave. Did not watch that. Don't care about that. I don't give a shit about that. She was also in The Suicide Squad. She's like on Euphoria. So you younger people out there, especially around my daughter's age, that loves to watch Euphoria, she's on Euphoria. And she's also in Wrinkle in Time, and I love her in A Wrinkle in Time. Wrinkle in Time is one of my favorite books. She really did a really great job. I was just, I mean, she had me a little ball. I know people like had a issue with Wrinkle in Time. I was just like, I seen it too, but like I was more focused on Chris Pine's character and her character, throughout the story. That's what I was like really interested in. I just didn't care for like all the other crap and everything what everybody was talking negatively about. And of course, it is directed, by Ava DuVay. She has like really big ties with Oprah because Oprah was in this movie too, and also Reese Witherspoon. But she is in Euphoria, and like so swear on crap. You know what I'm saying? That's really great. To see Miss Reed to be with the Nun too, and that's awesome. And she's like with some people that are like, those are the only two people that like I really recognize. And of course, like Bonnie Aarons is like playing her like role as the nun and everything. I love that she the one thing that I liked about the nun is that how Bonnie puts on her makeup. They put makeup on her, and she is unrecognizable. She is straight up sinister, evil, just the stuff, the stuff of nightmares. Also, there's gonna be The Exorcist. Now, The Exorcist has not having like a set date yet, but The Exorcist is coming out now. People love The Exorcist. Robin. Excuse me, Reagan. Was played by Linda Blair. I mean, we got some like new people coming up, and guess who is going to be um showing up in here? Ellen Bernstein herself is going to be in The Exorcist. And I just see that they have like October 13th as the release date for The Exorcist. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The Exorcist, the 1973 Exorcist was okay to me. Like I said, I wasn't really big. I mean, I watched it when I was a teenager. I just really wasn't too big, like in the religious part aspect about it. And I did laugh when old girl's like, when her character, had the cross, the famous like, and everything else. I was like, damn, girl, is it that bad? But I felt that like the scene, I believe they deleted this scene, but they did re-add this scene back into it. Whenever she was going through the possession part in the early on stages, she came downstairs. The mom's having a dinner party. She peed. Um, okay, and I was like, all right, cool. But the one part that really creeped me out is when she came down the stairs, all bent over, just backhand and just running down them stairs. If they would have put that in there when I watched it the first time, I believe it would have like scared the hell out of me. But since they cut out that scene and they didn't put it in there, but they put the edited part of what they cut out back into it. And when I watched it, I was like, oh shit, I get it now. I was like, they should have had that scene in the beginning. But I'm looking forward to The Exorcist because Ellen Bernstein, I really enjoyed her performance in the Exorcist movie. Back in 1973. And of course, Linda Blair. I don't know if Linda Blair is doing a cameo, whatever, you never know. She's not saying. I actually follow Linda Blair, the real Linda Blair and everything. And I'm really looking forward to this film. And as y'all know, when Reagan said, "Your mother sucks cocks in hell," that stuck with me when I was a kid. Your mother sucked cocks in hell. I'm like, damn, like, mom's awesome. You know what I'm saying? I bet she got a good work down there. You know what I'm saying? But if like anything that like I feel that is going to be like a couple of sleeper hits. There is this film that's coming out in this month. It has Mia, what's her name? Mia Goth, and it has Alexander Skarsgård in it. And I feel this is going to be the sleeper of this month, and also the sleeper of the sleeper of horror in 2023. And I'm just like, okay, okay. I looked at, and it's called Infinity Pool, and I feel that Infinity Pool is going to be a sleeper. Infinity Pool is going to be something that is going to be beautifully, just magnificent. Also, um, very spooky. I feel that it's going to like hit on so many levels, especially with dealing with this the human psyche of like horror. And it has Alexander Skarsgård, baby. He was like awesome in The Northman. I don't. understand why everybody was tripping on the Northman, but the Northman was the shit to me. But with a really good cast, and of course they're gonna be giving it all. You know, Mia Goth is not a stranger to horror, especially being in Pearl X. She was also in Suspiria. Suspiria. I'm gonna tell you this. I think like people missed the point with this other Suspiria because it took dance as like a spell. I think it went into the very witchcraft element of like seductive dance, especially with the ballet company. If you love Italian horror and if you watch Suspiria, I like that one also, but I like this Suspiria. I love how it was broken into to like parts and scenes with Suspiria. It also has oh gosh, I was gonna call her the ancient one. Baby, I am forgetting people's names and stuff, but I always have her on my mind. She was on Constantine, but you know who I'm talking about. And it was Alex Weck. Alex Weck was a she's a model, and I remember her modeling. It was like it was a really interesting Suspiria. I liked that, like at the ending of Suspiria, of course, Dakota Johnson, which is Don Johnson's daughter, she was in it, baby. I am so glad that yeah, she has done like 50 Shades of Grey. I really didn't like her. 50 Shades of Grey is it's just a comedy to me. But when I seen her in Suspiria, of like how her character was and how like really like threw me into a loop. I almost did a backflip and everything of who she really was. I was like, this is what I've been wanting to see out of Dakota Johnson. And like sometimes when actresses are in terrible, awful roles, and I know they pick and choose, they read it and things like that. I felt that like if she didn't do 50 Shades of Shit, as I call it, we wouldn't know who Dakota Fanning is. You know, we would know she's somebody's daughter, but we know that's Don Johnson's daughter. But when she did Suspiria, I was like, yes, yes, girl, yes. I'm like, your this is your jam right here because I feel that when she starred in Suspiria, that she took that naiveness, that innocence, and things like that of what she had in 50 Shades of Crap, and she plugged that in with her character. But it's like, surprise, bitch, you know, surprise, motherfucker, like dokes and stuff. That, like, I was like, yes, baby, yes, that's exactly what I want to see because she literally surprised me. I thought she was gonna go into, you know, a lot of actors and actresses usually pigeonholed by like a character they played so well, but like she really did a really great in Suspiria. I mean, I suggest y'all to check that out if you haven't checked it out. If you like witches, dark magic, ballet. Lots of German because the old Suspiria, they like spoke like French, and it was like, you know, it was in Italy and everything. And of course the original you know, character from Suspiria is in this newest one. It's not really new, but it's been out for like maybe like a year or two or whatever. But she's in Suspiria, and it was like really great seeing her in the film. But as I just sit here and just like, you know, making like my whole plans to like see horror films of 2023. um there's gonna be some okay ones, there's gonna be some ones there's gonna be stupid, there's gonna be some that it may not come to your expectations. There gonna be some that is not even like close to your expectations, that is going to like wow the socks off of you. But one is not on my list, which is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I am not a fan of stuff like that. I feel that this is just my opinion. I know people are like looking forward to see Winnie the Pooh um murdering and crap like that, but I'm not, because like I grew up on Winnie the Pooh, and I feel that like it's just some things that like when people grow up on like in during childhood, and then all of a sudden it becomes like a horror movie, like Banana Splits. If you ever watched the Banana Splits the movie, they do a lot of murdering, and I'm just like, I watched it and I was just like, I don't want to watch this again, because and it's just not one of my favorites, because I watch reruns of Banana Splits. That's like taking like Sharon and Ross and all them, and everything, talking about skin him a rinky dinky dink, skin him a rinky doo. You know what I'm saying? You taking them and you turn them into like serial killers. I don't like that. I think like a lot of there's some things that you can turn like, I think it like, you could turn it into like something a little bit interesting, but it's some things, it's just, to my opinion, you just don't touch, like Winnie the Pooh. We all love Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore, Tigger, all of them. I think you could turn them into like something like a crude comedy or whatever, because you kind of like have like that feeling of like you could turn Winnie the Pooh and then it kind of like a little bit of a crude little bit dark comedy, but I will find that to be funny. I will watch that, but to have them murdering, I can't do it. Just with the banana splits, I can't do it. It's not my cup of tea. It really isn't. And I'm not like some horror elitist or whatever like that. It's just, I don't know. It's just some things like what we grew up with, in childhood. Even we read Winnie the Pooh or watched the cartoons. I feel like some some things just does not need to be tainted, especially what we grew up in as children. That's just me. That's just me right there. Um, Also, there is a film. It's Canadian and it's called Skinamarink. I watched a trailer to Skinamarink last month. Damn, damn, damn. I believe this one is going to be it is an independent film. Um the synopsis of it is that something terrible happens in the house. There's two children in there. The walls, the windows, the doors are gone. But just please watch the trailer. It's called Skinamarink. And one thing that I really do appreciate a lot about horror is like so much creativity and imagination from horror movies. If it's like super low budget, shoestring budget, stymie budget, or just no ass budget, of how much like the creator uh, who just put lots of imagination just to, I mean, I love that. I love that about horror. And you can just use the littlest things of, if you're very, very resourceful, to just literally just create that ambiance of like, mystery and terror and you know um just a lot of things. I mean, even with lighting, the background, just, I mean, even a noise. I mean, shadow play, like light and shadow play, plays a lot in horror movies. If you're very, very creative in that, I give a lot of horror filmmakers and producers, applause on that. But Skinamarink has all of that, setting that tone within that trailer, and I'm going to suggest y'all go watch the trailer for Skinamarink because it's kind of hard to explain, but damn, I was like, wait a minute. Oh shit, now I'm gonna have me a nightmare just watching, this trailer, and it has an and it's coming out this year. So I cannot wait to like see Skinamarink. Um, you know, uh I feel, you had Damien Leone whenever he had Terrifier, gained so much popularity with the first movie because everybody knew who Art was. When he came out with Terrifier 2, which hit theaters, it came like a major, huge blockbuster success. And I feel, and like I said, I feel that Art is here to stay. Um, I know some people who are talking about Megan uh may feel that maybe a sequel with that. And if it is, I look forward to it because Megan really did surprise me a lot. Um, with the way how the movie is, hate it, like it, meh on it and everything. I feel that like Megan is really an interesting movie to like watch, and I was like, damn, I really want to watch Megan again. I was like, wait a minute, if I want to watch Megan again, that means it actually has something that I really, really like that I want to go back to the theaters and watch. So there you go. So that is it for now with the horror movies of 2023. Like I said, it's going to be a hell of a lot more coming out, especially with, horror, science fiction. I know there's one with Adam Driver. Uh, Kind of have like that feel of, if you remember the one with Will Smith and his son was in. It has kind of like that survivalist film set back in on the earth that's either ahead of like prehistoric time or they're in prehistoric time. It's something like that. And I watched it. It looks a little silly with some things, but like for real, I thought that was like going to be really interesting because of, you know um I like science fiction films that has like some like a lot of substance, of where you have like the survivalists and they're like, they may be on like Earth, but it's so different that they're like, wait a minute, there's a lot of danger going on right here. I like science fiction films like that. You know what science fiction horror film that they need to do? Sci-fi horror film that they need to do. Come out with, and I wish Ridley Scott would like put some thought into this. Another alien movie, because we had Prometheus and then we had Covenant. People hated Covenant, but like Prometheus. And I remember people shitted on Prometheus, and then when Covenant come out, they shitted on Covenant but loved Prometheus. It was like either or. And I was like, damn, it fucking pick a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Pick a struggle. But I like both of them because both of them have some really good acting, especially with Michael Fassbender. And it was so hilarious because my daughter, she tagged me and it had she found a picture of Michael Fassbender and she's like, there's your man, mom. I was like, girl, leave me alone. I was like, you know me too well. But I enjoy Michael Fassbender whenever he plays David. I feel that's a really good role for him because he does mimic a lot of the androids of the past, except for Bishop, because Bishop wasn't the android that like really was finna kill his ass, but really was like, okay, you cool. But I like that he played dual androids in Covenant. I feel that like they should have went a little bit more in depth of why did he do that to like Dr. Shaw, even though Dr. Shaw has saved his life. Uh, when the engineer ripped his head off. But I wonder what was the uptick that made David do that to Shaw. And was it because it wasn't nobody to save her, or was it something that she found out that she has some type of disease or whatever? That's the big question right there. That is the most like ambiguous question. I mean, it was a lot of ambiguity with what happened to Dr. Shaw, played by Numi Rapins. Love her ass, and the damn girl with the dragon tattoo. And I'm talking about the one that's all is Swedish and you read them subtitles, baby. Now that's my girl, right? That's my Lisbeth. Okay? Numi Rapins is my Lisbeth. All right, bars. So I always like that was like one of the questions that always popped up in my head. But I feel that Fassbender have really mastered of how to be an android playing David on Prometheus and Covenant. And boy, that was a cold blooded ass ending and Covenant right there. That was cold blooded. And I like that Danny McBride was in this film playing Tennessee. Shit, I love me some damn Danny McBride. Baby, I know somebody was asking me like if I would like play the role would Danny McBride be like my inspiration. I started talking like Danny McBride, the way how he be rolling and shit. And he was like, yep, that's basically what Danny McBride would say. I say, I know, shoot, me and Danny McBride, you know what I'm saying? I don't know him like that, but I know how his speed is. I know how he moves like that, you know? But I love Danny McBride because that was a very serious role for him. And I think Danny McBride can kill it in a dramatic role, especially with science fiction, uh, fantasy, horror like Covenant. I want to see him more in some roles like that. I did like This Is the End. That was a crazy ass movie. I know people were not happy about that movie when they watched it, especially that it had like all the celebrities like Rihanna, Michael Sarah, shit, dealing with the end of the world with demons and angels and everything else like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that was you want to. Oh man, you went Pilgrim. That's David, right? You went Pilgrim. Oh God, that man tickled me. You went But yeah, I like Danny McBride in roles like that. He is so funny, but also he can really pull some motherfucking magic out his behind, especially with a role like Tennessee. Um, he can dial that shit way back and be that motherfucker because I liked him as Tennessee. I really did. And I feel that this should be like another uh Alien Prometheus Covenant movie, backstories of like, of that because I feel that that is like a so much uh bigger universe of that to explore. And I mean, you got the thing that's science fiction, horror, alien, everything else, but I would like to see another one. Like, what the hell happened when David put them damn eggs and he was, he was like regurgitating them eggs and stuff, putting it on that ship. And old girl and stuff and everything, she seen like, oh shit, this ain't like our dude. This is really David. What has happened? I want to know. Ooh, oh my God, that ending was too go cold blooded. It was just too cold blooded right there. And I want to see. I want to see another one again. Like what happened? Because I feel like I need my questions to be answered. I want to know if you make another one like this, will David be ended, or will he take a next evolution step of not only being a sentient being of an android? What in the hell is he really going to do? That is my burning question. But enough of that chit chat right there. I'd like to thank you to joining me with, like, this podcast. Um like I said, I've been up for all this morning, and mm, I'm gonna be throwing out some interviews from Shelley, When the Wind Blows, her guest interview with the Random Horror Show. I also have Horror Movies and Beyond, the wonderful Miss Littles. I can't pronounce her name because I put like so many like accents on her name. Ivontres. There we go. Ivontres Littles of Horror Movies and Beyond. She really does packs a punch with her horror reviews. She covers a lot. She is really big on science fiction and fantasy. I really love that about her. She's a wonderful guest. Both of them are very wonderful, but Horror Movies and Beyond, she has some amazing people that from directors to producers to actors. I mean, she is like this son with James and Chelsea Janice of Dead Meat. And I remember watching Dead Meat, I mean, even their humble beginnings on YouTube. They are very entertaining. They know their horror. She is like, I'm like this son with James and Chelsea Janice. um I remember they got married. I think they used to live here around in Texas, but they moved to California. Their YouTube channel grew so big, and it was just so much success. And there was like one or two things that kind of like had a little bit of you know one or two episodes, but they still give out great content. They still are big. I'm talking about, they know their horror. They really know their horror. They do lots of research, and it's the same thing with Miss Littles. And you're going to be able to hear her journey with starting with horror and everything else. And it's a very in-depth conversation with Miss Littles from horror movies, um, and from horror movies and beyond. She's really cool. She's really cool. But that's it for now, and I'm gonna be chunking those out. Um, it's gonna be the end of the Random Horror Show. It was supposed to be last month. I got sick. That delayed a lot of shit for me. But we will come back in June. Don't know when, because baby, I need to take a break. I love getting my head corrected. It's all about my mental health. It's all about self-care. It's all about taking care of yourself. um and if I didn't do that, and I kept pushing and kept pushing, um this right here, I would stop doing it, and I would end this shit all, because I do not have time to be um in a very not a good headspace of doing this. And then even you could tell in my tone. I mean, I'm okay, but you could tell in my tone that you go like, "Ooh, wow, that's a little different right there. She sounds a little different." And yeah, I really do. Um, but I do notice some like new changes within me. Um, I notice that it's going to be a lot of hills to climb. But the Random Horror Show is going to be back in June, and I just love being transparent with y'all. And I feel that this is really important. And if you are suffering from depression or anything else, a loss of a loved one, grief, everything, whatever I can think of at the moment, there is help. Make sure you have like a really great set of friends and family members for emotional support. I don't mean like lean on them like every damn time. Somebody that you can trust. Also, seek counseling, therapy, talk to your doctor about different medications. Some people don't need medications. Some people just need a lifestyle change, especially with their eating. I don't even drink soda a lot. I actually switched over to salsa water, and it tastes just so much better. It just tastes so much better. I never was like a big soda drinker as it is anyway. It's too sugary, it's too sweet. But it's like little things like that to um to really change like things, even like negative thinking about you may be going through self-doubt, you may be going through guilt, you may be going through grief, all of those type of emotions that's going to be hindering you, for from your best self. And I really do encourage a lot of you that are listening. And if you have been in a slump like that, and or if you have experienced, it don't matter if it was a death like a month ago or even 6 or 8 months ago and everything. If it still gets to you and stuff, I mean, just reach out, really reach out. And I wish everybody the best of health and luck and just everything within 2023, and whatever your endeavors is that you have started or you have done since last year. Keep going, really keep going. It may be a small victory. You may think it's a small victory, but guess what? It may be the biggest victory that you ever have in your whole entire life. And always count your blessings and always be grateful and have lots of gratitude. I wouldn't say humble yourself. I mean, because a lot of us do humble ourselves in a lot of positions. But I feel that if you have one superpower, as they asked me when I did my DJ introduction video, they said, "What is a superpower that you have?" And you know what I said? And I looked dead in the camera and I said, "Me." Because I believe in me. Even though I have been through so much and everything else and what I'm dealing right now, I feel that I'm a I'm a superhero. I have superpowers. My superpower is me. So that's the reason why I want to like, encourage y'all and never give up. You know what I'm saying? Just don't. But anyways, enough of that. Thank you so much for listening to the Random Horror Show. Since season 6 is going to be kicking off in June. If you would like to suggest any horror film, flick, or anything else, from subgenres to like supernatural, slasher to whatever, you can email me at therandomhorrorshow@gmail.com. If you want to drop a line and say hey or anything else, you can look me up on Instagram at The Random Horror Show, Facebook, The Random Horror Show. And also, I'm going to be attending the Vampires Ball. So if you're interested in seeing me showing up and showing out and acting the ass and everything at the Vampires Ball that is going to be happening in February, you can see me on Instagram. And also, my birthday is coming up in March. And if you want to sit there and like cash at me, pin me, or send me money or whatever, or gift and everything, I'll be more than welcome to accept gifts, because, baby, I love gifts and I love money and everything. Baby, I'm turning 45 and everything. I don't look no damn 45. Baby, I look like I'm 30 and shit. So, or how my daughter say, Mom, you look 26. You damn right, baby, I look 26. And if you want to see them pictures with me, finna act a damn fool, I'm turning 45. I don't think y'all ready for that shit right there. But anyways, I'm Keisha Lacey, signing out, and this is the Random Horror Show.